Does the defense have any other witnesses?
Yes, Your Honor. Defense calls Dr. Dixon to the stand.
Mr. Dixon is sworn. You may proceed when you're ready.
Please introduce yourself to the jury.
My name is Dr. Alex Dixon.
And what do you do for a living?
I'm a family psychiatrist.
Have you treated any of the people we are talking about here today?
Yes, I've treated Aaron Jasper and Morgan Walker.
And have you come to an opinion on the mental state of Aaron Jasper?
Yes,
Have you also come to give an opinion on the mental state of Morgan Walker?
yes.
Are you being paid for your testimony here today?
No, I've not been paid for my analysis or my testimony today. I did do my report pursuant to a judicial subpoena.
Where did you go to school?
I went to the John Jay College of Criminal Justice for my bachelor's degree, and then I went to Yale for my medical degree.
In addition to these degrees, do you have any certifications in psychiatry?
Yes, I'm certified by the American Board of Psychiatry and Neurology.
After earning your medical degree, where did you continue your studies?
I worked at Yale New Haven Hospital, where I did my residency in adult and child psychiatry until 1992.
And in what states are you licensed to practice psychiatry?
I'm licensed in Pennsylvania, New York, and Connecticut.
After finishing school, where did you work?
I worked at New Haven Psychiatric Hospital, where I was a psychiatrist for almost 20 years. And then I started my own practice, which is where I work now, and that's been for the last 10 years.
Now, in your current practice, how many patients have you treated?
Over the course of the time I've been in my practice, I've treated about 150 patients, with about a third of those have been children.
Do you have any other work experience that's relevant to this case?
Yes, I worked in crime scene investigations for the New York City Police Department for about 10 years in various positions.
What materials did you review in preparation for today?
I reviewed my own treatment notes, the statement of Morgan Walker, and all of the exhibits and evidence in the case file.
Thank you. Your Honor, I offer Dr. Dixon as an expert in family psychiatry.
Any objection?
No objection, Your Honor.
She's received as an expert.
Dr. Dixon, you mentioned earlier that Aaron Jasper is a patient of yours. How long has he been a patient?
He's been my patient for about 2 years.
And what is your diagnosis of Mr. Jasper?
He either has intermittent explosive disorder or oppositional defiant disorder. These two disorders are too similar to really narrow it down.
Who else suffers from these conditions?
Morgan Walker.
And what is intermittent explosive disorder?
Intermittent explosive disorder is a condition in which an individual has behavioral outbursts that demonstrate an inability to control aggressive impulses.
Okay, so what sort of behavior would a person with this condition exhibit?
You would see probably some physical aggression, verbal aggression, even some aggression that results in physical harm.
Okay. Now, could a person suffering from this condition stop themselves from acting out physically?
No, this is an impulse control disorder, so the behaviors are not premeditated.
Would people suffering from this condition understand the wrongfulness of their actions?
No, this isn't something that they think through before they act, so they wouldn't be trying to achieve a specific goal.
What is oppositional defiant disorder?
Oppositional defiant disorder is an impulse control disorder that's characterized by argumentative behavior, vindictiveness, and irritable mood.
And what are the symptoms?
The symptoms include being resentful, getting angry often, blaming others for your mistakes, and having difficulty with authority figures.
Okay. Now, what triggers these disorders in Aaron Jasper specifically?
Aaron is triggered when frustrated. Specifically, Aaron struggles with criticism from Morgan.
Now, let's turn to the day Claire died. Were any of these triggers in play that day for Aaron?
Yes. Aaron,
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation and relevancy. I don't necessarily understand why the state of the mind of Aaron is relevant right now. And furthermore, this is an expert not testifying merely to their expertise within the psychiatric field, but assuming certain opinion-based facts at the scene of the crime, which falls outside their realm as an expert.
Counselor, could you just repeat the question again before you respond?
Yes. Let's turn to the day Claire died. Were any of those triggers in play that day for Aaron Jasper?
Okay, do you have a response? to the objection?
Yes, Your Honor. As far as relevance goes, as Dr. Dixon has just stated, these conditions that Aaron Jasper has causes some aggressive behavior, can cause physical injury as a result. And Aaron Jasper was one of the last people with Claire Walker before her death. So in order to mount an effective defense, we are showing that there is an ulterior suspect that could have committed this crime. And it's essential that we delve into the mental state of Aaron Jasper and what her conditions might cause her to do. I believe the other objection was speculation. As we established earlier, Dr. Dixon has reviewed all of the exhibits and evidence in this case. They're merely testifying to the facts that they know about what occurred that day from what they reviewed and how it relates to psychiatry specifically.
I'll allow it. Overruled.
Dr. Dixon, repeating the question, let's turn to the day Claire died. Were any of those triggers in play that day for Aaron Jasper?
Yes, Aaron had been at wrestling practice that day and was trying to learn a new wrestling move. He couldn't really get it down, so Morgan benched him for the upcoming wrestling tournament. Then when Aaron got home, Claire was demanding that Aaron teach her that wrestling move. Morgan told Aaron not to do it. And this is a problem for Aaron because he has difficulty complying with requests from adults.
Okay, moving to Morgan Walker, what could have caused him to have an episode that day?
Again, when they returned home from wrestling practice, Claire was yelling with Aaron. The defendant got angry and had a blackout.
Now, what's the treatment plan for Morgan when they feel one of these episodes coming on?
Exactly what Morgan did. Get up, remove yourself from the situation, go hit something that can't be harmed, and relieve that stress.
Your Honor, objection, once again, speculation. There's nothing within the record to suggest that the defendant in this case actually made it to the garage to use said punching bag. The defendant's own testimony, as just previously elicited, actually speaks to their blackout having occurred prior to making to the punching bag. So once again, any opinion evidence elicited here that the defendant did act in accordance with that previous plan would be improper.
Your Honor, the question was specifically, what is the treatment plan for Morgan when they feel an episode coming on? And the facts in this case have been established to show that Morgan Walker started to feel an episode coming on and went to the garage to hit the punching bag. It's irrelevant whether or not he made it there or not. The testimony is simply that he was going to follow through with his treatment plan because he felt an episode coming on.
All right, I will allow the witness to give her opinion based on her understanding of the evidence. Overruled.
Dr. Dixon, what is the treatment plan for Morgan when they feel one of these episodes coming on?
Exactly what he did: to get up, remove himself from the situation, and to relieve his stress with the punching bag. Unfortunately, Morgan still had a blackout.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you reviewed the evidence in this case. Where was Claire Walker's body found?
Her body was found in the basement of the Walker home.
And what physical evidence was recovered from the basement?
An unidentified footprint and open windows.
Did police try and match that footprint with anyone outside the family?
No, there's nothing in the file that indicates the police tried to match that footprint to anyone outside the Walker home.
Did police pursue any theories about who may have broken into the basement window?
No, there's no indication that the police looked into anything regarding those open windows.
What did the police do with that evidence?
Well, Detective Hernandez instructed the other police officers to stop pursuing any other theories and focus on the family.
Thank you. No further questions.